Welcome to day one of the 2014 Commonwealth Games, where the triathletes take the plunge in search of the first medals to be awarded in Glasgow. Records tumble in the pool as the leading medal contenders show their class. We're at the velodrome as the big names in sprint and pursuit take to the track. And we'll bring you the very best of the action as 13 sports get underway here in Scotland. Our first sport is the women's triathlon. The triathlon has featured only twice previously in Commonwealth Games history, and there has never been an English medal winner in either men's or women's events. So the glorious setting of the Strathclyde Country Park could see history made. The women were in action first in sizzling heat. Well, let's join our commentary team led by Patrick Winterton.
And the entire race today taking place within the confines of Strathclyde Country Park. They use the loch, they use the woods, and they use the hills as well. Well, the women having the honour of hosting the first medal event of the Games. That is a real bonus for triathlon, which is only in its third Commonwealth Games. Now let's have a look at the course. The Olympic format competition begins with a 1,500-metre swim, 2 laps of the Strathclyde course. As they emerge, they make their way through the first transition, set off on the cycle, which heads around the grounds and into the woods. It's a really testing, undulating course with a number of 180-degree turns, which will give the athletes an opportunity to keep an eye on each other. 5 laps make up the 40 kilometres, and then it's into the final discipline, a 3-lap 10-kilometre run around the banks of the loch with one short, steep and possibly decisive climb before they head back to the finish at Strathclyde Centre. Well, here are the names taking place, and an opportunity to introduce my co-commentator Chris Gemmell, all the way from Palmerston North, New Zealand, former aquathlon world champion. He was top 6 in both of the previous Commonwealth Games triathlons, retired after London 2012. Welcome, Chris. Great to have you along and your insight into today's race. And a field of 30 with some superstars in there.
Yeah, no, fantastic to be here, Patrick. Wonderful conditions here at the park, and the ladies have been they've been excited all weekend. As you can see, they're all ready to go.
Away they go. The 2014 triathlon is underway for the women's individual event. Stimpson, Hewitt, Moffat, Jackson, Reed, Sweetland are the names and the numbers that you need to keep an eye out for, 1 through to 6. The swim essential. Remember, it's 3 disciplines. If you're not familiar with triathlon, they start with a swim, then on to the bikes, and then they finish with that all-important run. And you have to be able to run at around 32 minutes for 10K if you want a chance of winning here today. Let's have another look at the start. Everyone getting away very smoothly indeed. And you only have a slightly mistime it and you find yourself a couple of metres back. And the key there is you're in dirty water. You really want to get ahead of everyone else.
I mean, look at that. That's spectacular. You know, the girls are just entering. They've been waiting for this, for a long time. And some of them knew 7 years ago when Glasgow came along, this was going to be the height of their career. So, it's fantastic just to start this race. And, the week has been busy for them and now they're into it.
Just some 10 metres to go for the leading swimmers before they're onto the pontoon, then back into the water for exactly the same lap. They are halfway round the first of 3 disciplines in this Commonwealth Games women's triathlon, and it is Lucy Hall up the front. Great effort from her so far. Vicky Holland's having a good swim. Jodie Stimpson is in on the act in 3rd. Aileen Reid of Northern Ireland in 4th. The home nation's doing well. Andrea Hewitt. We got Samuels of New Zealand. Robert Sweetland, one of the favourites, Sweetland for Canada in 8th. 9th is Emma Moffat of Australia. And then behind her, Duffy, and then Emma Jackson of Australia in 11th. The shoes are already clipped to the pedals of the bike. Everything laid out precisely as they want it, and that's very interesting part of the race, just seeing how much care the athletes take to get the transition area as they like it.
Exactly. You watch Lucy here. She's done this 1,000 times before, and the girls will have another quick look. They'll hear the announcers calling, and Lucy can see she's got 2 English girls directly behind her. It's game on here.
England 1, 2 and 3. Aileen Reid of Northern Ireland still in 4th place as she was at the turn. In 5th is Samuels of New Zealand, ahead of Emma Moffat, and Duffy is there as well for Bermuda. She's had a very good swim. We've got Andrea Hewitt of New Zealand, remember bronze medalist 8 years ago. And
Emma Jackson, she's just hanging on there. She's going to have to hurry through transition to get on the back of that group. Very quick transitions from the front, girls.
3 leaders away, and no mistakes in the English camp now. What is going to happen? Aileen Reid will be licking her lips with delight after the start, because she wouldn't have believed that she'd be up with the leading 4, and she's got a very strong group there indeed. A little gap back to Samuels of New Zealand. Moffat some 18 seconds behind.
Yeah, that's this very big moment here for Emma Jackson here. She is just going to have to work so hard, and if she gets on the back of this group, this is where she won her medal.
Emma Jackson 25 seconds down on Lucy Hall coming out of T2.